Yes then guys, how you doing? My name's Morsey and welcome back to my channel for another video. I've had a few people commenting on my Twitch, on my streams and on my YouTube videos about the custom tactics I am currently using. So let's dive straight into the custom tactics tab, and you can see I have got three formations up here: 4-2-2-2, 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-2-1. Now the 4-3-2-1 is my demon mode. That is the one we're mainly going to focus on in this video. I do already have videos for the other two, the 4-2-2-2 and the 4-2-3-1 on my channel if you want to go back and check those out. But getting stuck into the demon mode tactics, this is the little setup that I ran this weekend league. We went 18-2. I could have got myself rank 1, but some questionable stuff was going on at FIFA this weekend, boys. I saw things that I did not think were possible, and I'm not salty about it, okay? I'll put it behind me. We choked the game to get rank 1, but it is absolutely fine. 18-2, I am still very happy with it. However, it is probably the worst weekend to get 18 wins because the red player picks are an absolute shambles unless you're packing Mane. But press after possession loss is the most overpowered defensive style tactic at the moment. It's incredible. It is so overpowering. Like, you win the ball up high, there is just basically bodies everywhere. But what you do notice in the sweaty, the higher divisions you go, or the FUT Champs sweat fests, a lot of people are running this tactic too. Same with press on heavy touch, and it tends to turn into a bit of a ping pong fest. Ricochets everywhere. Who can out press the other? It's a bit crazy, but I probably would say if you do feel more confident defensively, a bit more reassured in your ball retaining ability, I would run a press after possession loss tactic. At least give it a go. I do have another version of the 4-3-2-1 I'll show you after this one, which is a little bit more balanced. So if you're not really confident in that aspect of the game, then definitely stick around for that little setup as well. But with 45, 60 on the depth, I don't want to be too deep. I like being quite high up. I am quite confident defensively. I am still prone to kind of bringing my centre backs out a little bit crazy and a bit more aggressive than I should do, but I like having a higher depth than a lower depth. That is just how I roll. And we're already quite wide with the 4-3-2-1. I do want to kind of keep it quite central and quite compact, so 45 is on the whip. Now then, we've got long ball and direct passing. I have trialed majority of these. Fast build up I was using for a little bit. I didn't mind it, but I kind of like triggering runs myself and building up the play myself. Long ball though, if you're running lengthy strikers, players who are quick and able to make direct runs behind your opponent's defense, this tactic right here is phenomenal. Erling Haaland, for example, prime example. This man makes a run in behind with a long ball build-up play on. There's no man catching him. Just ping it over the top. He is going to be strident, powerful in behind, and it's basically a goal. Use and abuse it, lads. It is really, really nice. You may have to adjust your playstyle a little bit if you're not used to doing that. If you're using the more smaller, maybe more explosive strikers, maybe long ball isn't for you. I probably would recommend balance, but for me personally, because of the team I'm using with Haaland in there and Ronaldo and the length that I do have up top, long ball is a nice little alleyway. What is also good with long ball as well, if you are under press from your opponent, it's quite a nice escape route. You could have the long ball on, your players are going to make runs in behind, just hoof it up the pitch, get it out of your half and kind of then rebuild from there. Direct passing on the chance creation, I prefer it to forward runs, which is what I have been using. Possession I've never really tried. Forward runs is good, but what I was noticing a lot of the times, because I trigger a lot of runs with passing, I hold in the left bumper, I'm just overloading the box a little bit too much and I've got too many players kind of running offside and it's a bit crazy. Direct passing I think is the better way to go, mainly because of that extra pass as well in the build-up play, as you can see by the little graphic down here. The passes are obviously direct. Your player's movement is really, really nice, and I find it's really good to kind of create chances and space in the box, especially if you've got strikers who have incredible attack positioning or midfielders kind of getting into the little bits of space. Direct passing is really, really good. Width is 35 in that aspect. As I mentioned up here, I like to keep things pretty compact. Now, players in the box, I do like overloading the box a little bit when I'm bombing forward. You won't notice it being too much of an issue like in regards to getting counter-attacked on, but if you do fear that you aren't going to be defensively solid with this amount of players getting into the box, then you can drop it down to 4 or 5. Probably 4 or 5 is a safe space, I would say, but for me, I like it up here. Now, the most important thing on these custom tactics, the thing that I hate the most, I cannot stand it. Corners are really overpowered this year. There's a technique to basically score from them probably about 9 out of 10 times at the moment. And counter-attacking. If you don't score from the corner, getting counter-attacked on is so frustrating. So this is on 1, and I'm not changing it. I like having a bit more bodies back in regards to my corner techniques, because I don't like getting counter-attacked. So 1 on these. Same with free kicks. I think I had this on like 3 and 3 at one point, and I really noticed the effects here, boys. Because if you can see, 2 players back, If you've got your opponent's got one player up there and really quick like fullbacks / wingers, you're going to get overloaded too quickly. So one on the corners and one on free kicks in my opinion. So 4-3-2-1 is the formation and these are my instructions. Now then, for the midfield, I probably would say is the most important part of this formation. You need 3 midfielders, but you need a kind of balance. You need a midfielder who's going to be more solid defensively and you're more out and out CDM. Then you need a player who could probably play as more of a box-to-box, or maybe even more attacking option as well. And I feel like these 3 right here have a really, really nice balance. Benassa is my out-and-out kind of defensive midfielder. I kind of want him sitting a little bit behind these 2 boys, kind of sweeping the back line, giving a bit of support for the back 4. That is why I have him stay back while attacking and cover centre. Because this formation is quite attacking and these custom tactics are quite attacking, I have a lot of bodies running forward. I need that man staying back just in case, man, the sweep up, make the interceptions, and then of course we got a lot of bodies forward to kind of pick the pass and get the goal. Alongside him, Zinchenko and Perisic are basically only on cover centre, boys. I want to kind of line up in the 4-3-3 kind of formation, in my opinion. And the other version you'll see in a second of these custom tactics lines up a little bit differently in game and defends a little bit differently in game. But for this one, we want that midfield 3 because I like chaining passes between them. Having players like Perisic and Zinchenko, by the way, this man's passing is phenomenal. Don't overlook this card. I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm a little bit biased, but trust me, he is really good. And the shooting is decent, the outside the foot Chirelas. Perisic though, might be the best under 100k card I have seen on this game. I might do a separate video on him because he kind of blew my mind a little bit. And it hurts me to say because he's a Spurs player, but what on earth is this card? It is ridiculous. So a more attacking options either side of your more defensive option in the midfield there, boys. I would probably say a nice balance of lengthy and kind of explosive players are probably the way to go. Zinchenko, I believe, is controlled. Benassa, I think, is explosive. I'm not 100% sure he's explosive or controlled, and Perisic is lengthy, which makes him absolutely ridiculous on this game. But that is how we line up in the midfield. Now up front, every single one of these is getting behind. I know, it's a bit crazy. You get the ball and we're moving up the pitch quickly. I'm not messing about. We do have, of course, long ball and direct passing, which helps with this. Long ball, man. If Zinchenko wins the ball, for example, Erling Haaland is gone. He is bombing forward. He's in behind the defenders. We can play it up to him and link up to the likes of Chiesa and Ronaldo either side of him. And of course, you have basically every alleyway covered in that aspect. Ronaldo's getting in behind. You've got Haaland getting in behind and Chiesa bombing in behind, which is fantastic because Zinchenko and Perisic are bombing at the pitch as well. It's just so overpowering and so hard to defend against, in my opinion. So yeah, all of these are getting behind. But once again, this is the more crazy out of the 2 4-3-2 ones I'm going to show you today. But it's probably the one I'm enjoying the most. Now the fullbacks, we got stay back while attacking. We like to keep it pretty reassuring and pretty defensive up the back here, boys. I believe both Teo Hernandez and Kyle Walker have high attacking work rates. High, medium, and also high. Yeah, so there we go. So they're going to be bombing up a little bit by themselves anyway, boys, which you will definitely notice. And of course, you could trigger their runs forward with holding LB while making the passes. A lot of people were rocking overlap, but I don't think it's necessary in these tactics. You've already got a lot of players bombing forward. And as I said, you can overlap them yourselves if you want to. And of course, these boys are stay back while attacking. So that is the more crazy, full-on attacking version of these tactics. Let's go to something a little bit more balanced. A little something a bit more controlled, I would say. Now, we do have a higher depth in this one, but that is mainly because you want to trigger the automatic offsides. 72 is the threshold, right? 72 is the minimum to trigger automatic offsides on this game. So that is what we're doing, and balanced on the defensive style. More controlled. You can press yourself. As I said earlier, if you're not too confident defensively and in your ball retaining, I think balance is quite nice because yeah, you're in charge essentially, which is good. You can press if you want to, and of course, if you are getting a little bit bored, your opponent's keeping the ball a little bit too much, you can go to the press after possession loss version. 40 on the width. As I said, we like to keep it compact around here, boys. Build up play is balanced on this one. You can have your own, basically your own take on this. You don't need to be pinging long balls as much as you like. You can kind of bring it inside, play it out wide. Kind of use your striker as more of a hold-up player in this kind of little setup. Direct passing is still here though, because I think it is the best out-and-out one. Players in the box, 5. A little bit more in the midfield when you're bombing forward. You've got that cover behind your back 4, which is nice. Corners are still on 1. This is an essential. Do not be changing this, boys. You don't want to get counter-attacked. Trust me. Free kicks on 2. This could be 1 or 2. I don't think it matters too much in this aspect because majority of the time you're either playing it short or you're taking a shot. So you probably shouldn't get counter-attacked too much from a free kick. But that is how we're lining up here. Same again with the formation, exactly the same layout as well. Now the tactics do change a little bit. We kind of defend in a 4-4-2. I used these tactics last year and they actually worked really well. I feel like you got a lot more defensively. Well, obviously, we got everybody getting in behind on the other tactics, so you're basically relying on your back four and the midfield three. This one, we got that little added layer of cover, and we do cover the widths a little bit more, which is nice. Now, stay back while attacking, again, on both fullbacks. That's an essential. These here, we've got two of them to cover centre, which are going to be Perisic and Benassa. That is because these two are going to be more of the central midfield players. Zinchenko is cover, wing, and balance. So he's going to almost fill out as a left midfielder when we're defending, which is nice, especially if you're against like a 5-back, for example, and they've got really aggressive wing backs. Zinchenko offers support to Teo Hernandez, which is good. Benassa stay back while attacking and cover centre, and Perisic is just cover centre. So this man's still the more defensive out of the whole three. Perisic is also going to be defensive, but obviously balanced. He could bomb forward and help out with the attackers, basically if needed. Chiesa, come back on defence. You getting what I'm saying now? If Zinchenko's dropping out to the left to defend, or covering the wing, for example, Chiesa's coming back. He's also covering the right-hand side. So he will offer support for Kyle Walker. It's a really nice little kind of tactic here, boys. And I do enjoy this. 100% would recommend it for your more balanced games. Maybe you want to control the game a little bit more. If you've got the early lead, switch to this one out of the more aggressive press after possession loss. Haaland is balanced, and so is Ronaldo. These two, obviously, the out-and-out strikers. So that is it, lads. Essentially, I don't want to kind of, rumble on and on about these tactics. But trust me, I've had so much success from using them. I was feeling a little bit stale, a little bit run down, running the 4-2-2-2. It was good and all, but I needed a bit more spice in life. And I think the 4-3-2-1 is the way to go in that aspect. Make sure if you are going to copy these, to set up both of them just in case. And listen to what I said in regards to, if you have got an early lead, switch to the more balanced, calm down version. But then again, if you like attacking on this game and having fun, boys, just stick with the press after possession loss. Just absolutely ruin your opponents, all right? No messing about. Score as many goals as you can, and you'll be absolutely dreaming. Do let me know down below your favourite formation on the game so far and the custom tactics you've been using that may have success for yourself. I'm intrigued to try out as many as possible at the moment, but 4-3-2-1 is my bread and butter as it stands, boys. I'll be more, so subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you very soon.